In this video, we're going to be taking a look at what is a script action in ServiceNow, how would you call it using an event, but more importantly, why you might actually use one. Hello and welcome to the channel where in today's video, we're going to talk about script actions. But before we head on over and do all the good stuff, I've got a bone to pick with some of you because you've been a bit naughty. The nerds over at YouTube have told me if you're watching this, there's an 80% chance that you're not even subscribed.
That's not good enough.
So make sure you head on over and do subscribe before you continue watching the video. Smash the bell icon, do all the good stuff. But most importantly, make sure you share the love with all your ServiceNow buddies. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what script action actually is before we head on over. So essentially, it's a record in ServiceNow where you're going to write some server-side script. Because it's server-side script, we've obviously got access to all the Glide APIs that you would on things like business rules and script includes. Now, to call a script action, it's going to require an event. So you're going to need to create an event. There's two things that can be triggered by events, one of which is notifications. That's a little bit dull. I've done videos on that. Go and check them out. The other thing is a script action. Now, that may or may not be a question that comes up with the admin exam. So perhaps keep that up there. So, but the purpose of this video, right, because I think script actions are massively underused. Perhaps people find other ways of doing stuff. But this game is all about having these tools in your arsenal that you can pull out, and you've got them at the back of your head that you can use when you're thinking about technical. The other thing about script actions is we've got access to two objects in them. One is current, which is a glide record, which is declared within the event when we trigger it over. It's typically the record that you trigger the event from, right? The other one is event object, which is going to contain two parameters. It's got some other parameters, but mainly Palm1 and Palm2, which again, we can send with the event that we can access from the script action and do stuff with. Okay, enough waffle. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so let's head on over to the tool and I'll put my glasses on so we know it's getting serious. If we go to script action, using the application navigator on the left-hand side, proper terminology there. I think instead of me creating everything from scratch in this demo, I think we're just going to pick on something that's already there. There's a load of stuff that's already there, and hopefully that'll work just as well. So in order to utilize script actions, there's three main components. Three main components. So the first is we need to create an event. Okay, so there's other videos out there. I think I've done one with notifications that will show you how to create an event. We're going to need to trigger that event from something. So typically what you'll see on doc sites and other YouTube videos is that events are triggered by server-side scripts. So things like script includes, business rules, UI actions, or the server-side bit of a UI action. Things like workflows or legacy workflows, right? That is correct. But I also want to mention, don't discount or don't forget about flows as well. So we can also trigger events from flows. So we can use actions within flows, scripty stuff to trigger them. But you can also create an event record from a flow. And I've done a video on that as well. So whereas you might hear it say, yes, you can trigger them by scripts, don't forget about flows as well. Okay, so if you're debugging something, always check there as well. Those are things that are going to trigger the event that you need to create. Then we need to create this script action thing, which is what this video is about. Yes, based on the title. So let's head into script actions. Now, out of the box, this is a Tokyo instance. We've got 287, so there's quite a few to go and look at and see how they work, right? Couldn't get a Utah instance. I'm on the waiting list service now. If you're listening, please give us more. We all want to go and have a look and have a play. Anyway, so let's pick on a script action that I think will work. I'm going to go for, well, I don't know what I was writing there. Communicate workaround. Okay, so we'll go for that one. So let me just explain this in a little bit of context. So this kind of business use case, it's all about you have an incident. You've decided you don't know what the root cause is. Therefore, you create a problem and link the incident to that problem. Whilst you're investigating what the actual issue is, what the root cause is of the problem, you decide you've got a workaround. That may be reboot a laptop, right? So you write that workaround on the problem. and you want to tell your users about it. You don't necessarily want to go into all the 20 incidents that are linked to that one problem and write in the workaround. So you would write in the problem, you would click a UI action in this case, which would then send the workaround out to users incident. Okay. Let's go and have a look. So I mentioned you would click the UI action. So let's go and have a look at that. This is the communicate workaround UI action. Let me just move. Oh, you're on there. Right. This is the communicate workaround UI action, which is on the problem table. Okay. This here is the event that we are triggering. Okay. So that event is called communicate workaround. Let's just go and have a look at that event. If we head over to events here, not event management, it's events registry. Pick up another one so we don't remove. Look at the event. And here we can see the event. When you create the event, you're going to need to put it on a table. In this case, it's on the problem table. So when I mentioned before that we've got access to two objects, we've got current and event. Well, current in this case is going to be a problem record because this event is on the problem table, right? One point to note here is fired by in description. Please, 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 when you're creating events from scratch, please put these in. I've lost count the amount of times where I've come to an event that someone's created and there's nothing in here. And then you have to go digging to go and find it. So please do that. Your future self will love you for that. So this is the event that gets triggered. As we can see here, let's just pick the bottom one. So our UI action is triggering that event. That event is now triggering the script action, right? So event name here. And this here, we've got quite, I would say, quite a simple bit of code, right? The one thing I want to point out here is on line 3. As I've said before a couple of times now, we've got access to the current object. So current.getUniqueValue in this case would be the sysid of the problem that it came from. But we've also got event palm1. So you've got event.palm1. Now, you've also got, I'll just write it at the bottom here. So we've got event palm1, event palm2. There are other attributes of event as well. That's another video, I think. But the main ones that you see in use are event.palm1, event.palm2. In fact, actually, if you wanted to see what other attributes, you could just simply put, you can have a look through the other script actions that are there and probably get an idea that way if you'd like to. Anyway, so we've got event palm1, event palm2. So what are they, right? What does that mean? If we go back to the script action, we can see the event, and there's different parameters. So in EventQueue method, there's different parameters that you will pass it. The first one being the event itself. The second one being the GlideRecord, in this case current, and the third and fourth will be event palm1 and event palm2. So in this case, we've got workaround, current.workaround, which is like a text field where you type the workaround. That is event palm1. Let's whiz back over here. Work notes equals event palm1. So that's workaround notes. If we chose to put in another parameter, I already put this one in called hello, just to illustrate a point. We could put in another parameter, and this would be event palm2. So we could call event palm2. So if we were to do this, palm2, the code would be, well, it'd be, because I've just put hello, it would be pretty awful. But the work note, the result of this work note would be the workaround plus hello. Okay, pretty pointless. So in this instance, what will happen when this UI action is clicked? The event is triggered. We've seen that. From that, the script action will be called, and then it'll take the value of event palm1, put it in the work notes, and update any relevant incidents. So let's just talk about, so that's quite a simple scenario. Now, what we could do is we could call a script include if we really wanted to from the script in the script action. So you've got access to all the different server-side APIs, as I've already mentioned. So let's just address, why would you use a script action? Well, script actions, we've already said, are asynchronous. So if there's ever a case that you want to update multiple records and you don't want to do something in a business rule, perhaps, you could use a script action because the event's going to queue. It's going to kind of, I don't want to say drop the connection, but the event's going to queue and it's going to wait for the next slot in that queue in order to be processed. So I guess you'd use a script action when you're not overly bothered by the time it's going to take to action the script that you wrote. Right. So in this case, we know the work notes are going to be updated, but it doesn't need to be incident. It doesn't need to be instant. We don't need to click the UI action and wait for a response to come back. Right. We don't need to hit that communicate workaround UI action and wait for it to say, yes, I've updated all the 50,000 incidents. We're okay in this instance to put it in a queue and let the queue pick it up and do it whenever it's available to action. Okay, so I hope you found that video useful. I know it's been a short one. It wasn't actually me writing the code, and maybe that's a good thing. But hopefully I've explained it enough that you understand that next time you're thinking about a solution, just think about a script action. It might just help you out. So until next time, make sure you're subscribed, give it a thumbs up, share it with your ServiceNow buddies, smash the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video, just like this. Till then, I've been ServiceNerd. Thanks for watching.